the shower niche. So the old shower niche was really tiny. I could only fit really face soap and like my razor in it. It was completely worthless, and we had to keep all of the shampoo and conditioner and body wash on the floor. Didn't like that. So now I want it to make sure I have a nice big niche on this wall. I want it centered on the wall. I only want to really mess around with one of these studs. So this one is near the center, so this is going to be the one I'm going to cut into. Since this stud is here in the way, I'm going to just use this as my guide for how wide I'm going to make this niche. And I found earlier that including the cement board and the tile that's going to go against this wall, this is about the center point for this shower. So I measured from this center point to here, and then just use that as the number over to this side for where I'm going to put my stud. Once I take into account the HardieBacker board and the tile and the thin set, that means I'm going to have a niche that's about 16 inches wide, 16 and a half. So once I put a stud underneath here, because I don't really want to mess around with these either, and measure down an inch and a half for the stud, the HardieBacker board, the tile and the thin set, it looks like my niche is going to start right about here, which is a good height for my husband and myself. That'll work out perfectly. And I think I'm going to bring it down to about here. This is about 14 inches in distance. Most of the stuff that you have in your shower is only going to be about 10 inches high, but don't want everything to feel really tight. I want the niche to feel like a grand master bath shower niche. So I'm going to make it around 14 inches high, which means, again, with the stud and the HardieBacker board and the tile, that means I'm going to be making my cut down here. So let's get to it, and I'll talk you through it as we go. Okay, so for the first step of this project, I need to cut out this section of this 2x4. For that, I've got my really old Ryobi circular saw that still works perfectly. I'm just going to use this to get a nice straight cut here, in there, and then finish it off with my reciprocating saw. So let's get started, and don't forget safety glasses. And again, these are really old. I can't find my new ones, so just ignore it. Okay, now that I've removed the section of the stud, I need to build a new bottom for the niche. So I'm using a 2x4 again. I've got it started a little bit just to hold it steady, and I want to make sure that it's level, of course, before I completely screw it into place. And I also want to make sure that the back is tilted up just a little bit so that water doesn't sit in here. And if you can see, it pretty much, it already is that way, but I just need to make sure once it's all screwed down that it doesn't get leveled up. It still needs to be just tilted just enough to make the water drain out, but not let all of your stuff slide out. Okay, so I got the bottom of the niche in, the bottom frame for the niche in. It's slightly elevated at the back, like I said. I have it screwed in twice to this stud here, and then once here to keep this really tight and having flush to the stud next to it just makes it easier for the HardieBacker board. And then the same over here, so it's in at a 2.5 inch long screw, in at a quarter, or at an angle. Anyway, so then, to help me level it a little bit while I was screwing it in, I used this little trick. It's just a little block that I put in to hold it level, make the job easier for me when I was screwing it in up here. I did the same trick over here, but I'm actually going to remove this now and put it where I need it over here on the other side. That was just temporarily holding things in place while I level it again. So let me get to that. Okay, so now I moved that board that was over here holding things steady for me. Over here, just to give this a little bit more support, the frame a little bit more support, I screwed it into the studs, the existing studs. And then I put in my new piece that makes the other outside wall of the niche. So this right here is going to be our niche, guys. So I think this niche is ready for the Hardie board. The plumber is going to come back in and take care of that. And then I'll get to tiling hopefully soon.